Welcome back to another edition of Arizona Wildcats Insiders Podcast. I'm your host, Troy Hutchison, and right now we are getting close to Arizona versus BYU out on the gridiron. Arizona comes in with a record of 4-1. Meanwhile, BYU, number 18 in the country, is undefeated, sitting at 5-0. And you know what? It is I think it's like the 26th meeting between these two programs, semi-rivalry game with this one right here. Arizona, very good defense, very good running game. No, Fafita is developing as a passer. Special teams unit leaves you to have some questions, though. They've been struggling on the special teams side of the ball, has caused some issues this season with 5 missed field goals, a block punt, a muff punt. It's been a house of horrors for the Wildcats on the special teams side of the ball. Meanwhile, BYU comes in, veteran group, great defense, very good defense, very physical. Salani Sataki has always been very good defensively as a head coach. Their offense, they have some playmakers at the wide receiver position, some playmakers out of the backfield, and a freshman quarterback that a lot of people doubted coming into the year. The transfer from Stanford, when he got the reins, when their former starter left due to issues with the school, everybody thought, man, I don't know about BYU. I don't know about them. You know what? All they do is win. That's all they do. BYU is one of the most consistent programs out there in college football. All they do is average 7 to 9, sometimes more wins, get to bowl games, play physical football, and they're one of the better teams in the Big 12. This is going to be a grudge match, people. The weather forecast for the game, 95% chance of rain. You're looking at 80 degrees, probably around 72 during kickoff. I mean, it is going to be an all-out, muddy, gridiron, gritty type of football game, tough-nosed football. It's going to be an exciting one. But before we get there, before we get to our game predictions, before we get to our depth chart breakdown, I want to talk about Arizona basketball. We are around 30 days, less than 30 days away. We're less than 30 days away, actually, as I'm looking at the calendar right now, from Arizona kicking off the 2025-2026 college basketball season, tipping off, I should say, the 5th year underneath Coach Tommy Lloyd. The Wildcats have gone to 4 NCAA tournaments in the first 4 years under Coach Lloyd. He's been one of the most successful young coaches out there in college basketball, has one of the best records ever for a first-time 4-year head coach. I think it's around 112 wins, 33 losses. An incredible job by Coach Lloyd. They've been to 3 Sweet 16s, lost a close one against Clemson, lost a barn burner against Duke in an all-time classic game, and then, yes, got hammered against Houston his first season in Tucson. But this is a program growing. Yes, Arizona is an elite program. Yes, it's one of the better programs in the country, a top 15 program, but it's still a program on the rise. It's not where it wants to be, and Lloyd is trying to get them there. And right now, Arizona has a tremendous freshman class coming in, 7 freshmen with international flair, 5-star high-level talent from the U.S., ranks number 2 nationally on 24/7 Sports recruiting database. They have the second best recruiting class. Oh, and it's not just about the freshmen. You have Jaden Bradley, one of the top point guards in the country, coming back. You have Toby Awaka, who's an absolute physical specimen and just one of the tough guys out there in college basketball. That is a great rebounder, great defender. You have Krivas, who's coming off of an injury, so we'll see there. And Anthony Del Rosso, who developed while at Arizona, looked a little bit better from beginning to end, and during this offseason has put on 25 pounds of muscle. Didn't even test the NBA draft waters. Was he going to get drafted? No. But he could have looked at different programs, got more playing time somewhere else. Again, I think he'll be in the starting lineup, but he didn't even go that route. Once the game ended against Duke, he called up strength and conditioning coach Chris Rounds, and they got on their regimen, and they've been building him up ever since. Now he has added 25 pounds of muscle. 25 pounds. So we're getting closer to Arizona tipping off the season against defending national champs, Florida Gators. It's going to be an exciting one out in Vegas, T-Mobile Arena. There's no better setting for a neutral site game than Nevada, Las Vegas. It is one of the meccas out there. Yes, you could talk about New York being a mecca of college basketball. You could talk about Chicago being a mecca of college basketball. Obviously, there's places in LA too. But when you talk about under the lights, national spotlight, and you want to feel the weight of the world watching you, Las Vegas, man. I mean, the lights don't get brighter. I mean, they put on a show at T-Mobile Arena. It's going to be a great event. Defending national champs Monday night, November 3rd, to tip off the season. It's going to be an exciting one. That's a 4 p.m. tip for the Hall of Fame Classic, that kind of event that they are putting together. Arizona has 3 events in that series. So let's talk about what we learned a little bit from the Red-Blue game and some of the things that Arizona needs to fix as they head into the 2025-2026 college basketball season. Number one, I want to talk about three-point shooting. Last season, Anthony Del Rosso shot around 41-43%. Very good number, but didn't take that many shots. Carter Bryant was around 50%. About that 48%. Again, didn't take a lot of shots and was limited with his time out on the court early on in the season. Caleb Love wasn't a good percentage shooter. There wasn't that consistent outside shot, but you had ball handlers to get to the bucket. I think you have ball handlers to get to the bucket on this year's team too, but you are going to need a consistent outside shot. I look at Anthony Del Rosso. I think he needs to be more aggressive with his shooting. That's going to be one thing to watch, is his aggression with his shooting. I think Brandon Burries is going to have a decent shot. He's going to be a threat from out there. Jaden Bradley is developing his three-point shot. I don't think he's going to be a 40% guy. I think that's asking a lot. We'll see how it goes. You have Dwayne Arstead, the freshman, coming in. He looks really good, like a 3-and-D guy. You have Ivan, the Russian/German guard, coming in internationally. Veteran dude. I know he is a freshman, but he's played with older kids, older pros before, and he's got a sweet stroke from beyond the arc. So those are some of the guys I look at right now on the roster that could make an impact from beyond the arc. And again, yes, Mo Krios can shoot. Yes, Toby Awaka's been working on a three-point shot, but I think those guys in particular are going to have to step it up. And that's Dwayne Arstead, Ivan, Brandon Burries, and Anthony Del Rosso. They're going to have to be sharp from beyond the arc to stretch the floor for Arizona, but Arizona needs to develop their three-point shooting. I think that's something they need to work on before the start of the season. Number two, defensive lockdown guy. Ever since Tommy Lloyd's gone into Arizona, he's had defensive studs. He's had Dalen Terry, who is a defensive mastermind, defensive genius, very good defensive player that can guard positions 1 through 3, 1 through 4 at times. You had Pelle Larsson, very good defender, gritty, hard-nosed defender. You had, let's see here. You had Carter Bryant, tremendous defender, an elite defender that I think Arizona would have loved to have back this season. KJ Lewis, a high-level elite defender. Caleb Love developed into a good, solid defender. You've had really good defensive players. Oh, and how could I forget? Keshad Johnson, very good defender as well. You've had these wing defenders that you can match up 1 through 5, that can guard any position, stretch the floor, be a Swiss Army knife out there on the court. I don't see that right now. I can't point to a guy on the roster that can take that role of being a high-level elite defender. And that kind of worries me going into this year. Because when you look at the Big 12, yes, Arizona led the conference in scoring. Yes, they're going to be a good scoring team. But it's about toughness and grit. Toby Awaka's got the toughness and grit, but he can't guard a point guard. He can't guard a shooting guard. You're not going to put him out there at the perimeter and have him get toast. Like that's going to be a little bit of a problem. I think Arstead is a guy that could develop into that. I think Ivan has shown things that prove he could be a solid defender. And I look at Evan Nelson. He's got good length for a point guard. He's got good size. He's a guy that could be a little gritty, a little problem, a bit of a problem for opponents. And I think Jaden Bradley fits that mold too. So I think you're going to have to see a multitude of guys take on that role. But the problem is, and again, Cole Pete is a very good defender. But having them guard a point guard or a shooting guard at the perimeter is a little concerning. There's not that clear-cut wing that's going to be an elite switch everything defender as of right now. So we got to figure out who that's going to be for Arizona for them to be successful this season. I think you're going to see that development from the exhibition game at St. Mary's, the Florida game. And I think by conference play, you're going to find out who those defenders are. You're going to take your lumps around the schedule. You have an elite schedule, a high-level schedule with tons of ranked opponents, tons of big-time matchups. You're going to take lumps. But they're going to be better for it come March. And lastly, Koa Pete, one of the best recruits out there in the country, him and Braden Burries. Back to the basket, attack the basket, power forward that has good ball handling skills and can pass the ball. Is he a point forward? No, he's far from that. No matter what some people believe, he is not a point forward. And he does a lot of his scoring in the post, down low in the paint. He needs to be able to hit the 15-footer. In the red and blue game, he went 4 for 10. And that mid-range shot kind of looked like Marcus Camby, where it kind of has a curve to it. It didn't look good. Now, the shot looked smooth. It's not about getting up where Marcus Camby came over and shot. It's not like that. I'm talking about after the release, the ball has a little arc, a little curve to it. It's not a good shot. It's kind of on the line and curves. That's got to develop. He's got to knock those down. Because if he knocks those down, he can stretch the floor a little bit, and then he could take centers and power forwards at the top of the key and work them inside. I mean, that's going to be a big part of his game, is working from the free throw line and attacking the bucket. So in order to do that, in order for the defender to want to go out and guard you, you got to knock some of those down, or else they're just going to back off and say, shoot it. Go ahead, be my guest. And if that's the case, he's going to struggle at times. And do I expect him to struggle? Yes, he's a freshman. But I think when he figures it out, you're looking at a lottery pick. So those are the 3 things to watch Arizona develop. Those are 3 things that we should track for the St. Mary's exhibition game. And those are 3 things that kind of concern me going into the season for the Wildcats. We'll see how it goes. But this is a high-level team, highly talented, a very good coach that's developing each and every year. This is a team that could potentially get to an Elite 8 or Final 4 if everything gels. We'll have more coverage of Arizona men's basketball and Arizona football as the week moves along and as we get closer to the exhibition game against St. Mary's. But be sure to check out our website, Arizona Wildcats on SI. Follow us at Arizona Wildcats on SI, or follow me, Troy Hutchison, at THutch1995, and we'll see you next time.